And let's see how she's performing with the indicators. Aha, so here's where we see some action, right? Hey there, welcome to your daily dose of crypto elephant wisdom for Friday, March 11th, 2022. Hope everyone's doing well. We've had an eventful couple of days here. We're looking at the Bitcoin chart to start with on the 1 day. And the number that we've had circled for a while, right, is this 39.7, 39.8-ish kind of zone. And we've seen that play out pretty well. We're back right below it right now. So below it, that does bring these lower lines back into play. So trading this right now, we'll take a look at the 1 hour here in a second. But trading this right now is kind of tricky. You don't know whether to expect to bounce back up from where we just came, or seeing that we're below our golden line here. Maybe we expect that to retest back down below, back into the upper mid 30s, which, you know, with the macro environment, that's kind of where I'm leaning at the moment. To be fully transparent with you guys, I am hoping we get a pump and I'm able to change my bias in a heartbeat, no problem. But right now I am expecting a little bit more of a drop, maybe to retest back down here again, 35-ish. And see if we can hold back here again. And, you know, we'll see what happens. We've talked before a few days ago. We looked at Bitcoin on the weekly. Let's take a quick look at that. And we can see where we talked about where that support was. And we see our white baseline support is around that $29,000 level. And that is historically up. We're on the finance chart here, so not as much history, but historically you will see this be tested a little bit, and then also down below it with this chart, we don't have it, but the 200 week average is right around that 2021 area. So when you see people predicting 28 and 20, that's kind of where those numbers are coming from, roughly. So, and again, those are areas that we have retested. So this is a weekly. Let's go back daily. And again, we're hovering right around this 39,000. And let's go down to the hourly here. And let's see how she's performing with the indicators. Aha, so here's where we see some action, right? We see on the 1 hour, our 200 hour, white elephant baseline, both two powerful things. Those are our two most powerful lines that we have on these charts. We have two other indicators of the elephant trinity, and those are more shorter term trend. These are more, a little bit longer term, obviously the 200-day there. So now we see that resistance, right? And now it kind of makes sense what's happening here. We lost it. And as we mentioned, the cool thing when they do break indicators, it tends to really break. So it really tends to bust out pretty hard here and on top of here. And you can see this is a perfect 1 hour Bart chart. So Bart Simpson, right? We picture his hair. That is called a Bart candle, Bart pattern. And we see resistance here. So again, that same 39.8, 39, let's see, our indicator actually is what? 39.843. So that would be actually, if it comes back up to here again, kind of a short opportunity. Right now, again, I'm sort of feeling downtrend here. We still have a lot of pressure to bear on the macro markets overall. The war in the Ukraine not going anywhere, it looks like. And then we see the price of gasoline, of course, and inflation overall is, you know, they came out with about 8% yesterday, but that's not the real number. The real number is more closer to 15, 20% for goods and services that you actually use as a consumer. So This is as low as it's been since the 1970s. So I am expecting downside. Now, hopefully Bitcoin does act like it should and become a store of value. Money flees into it like it will gold. But we shall see. Right now, as we've talked about, it is a risk-on asset. It is moving in lockstep with the S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow. So if that's going down lately, so is Bitcoin. And of course, Bitcoins go down. It's going to take every alt with it times two. So remember, on bear moves, altcoins are going to bleed a whole lot more than Bitcoin generally. All right, now a couple coins I want to take a look at that we haven't talked about too much is Luna. And this is Luna on the 1 hour chart. We've seen the news recently where this has the foundation's pledged to actually buy more Bitcoin. It's burning its own Luna, and it's buying, I think, about $500 million worth of Bitcoin is what I was reading this morning. So this is the price adjustment from that move. Now we see this coming down, and what we're going to look for trading wise, I'm not touching this right now. We're on the 1 hour. I would be looking for a touch closer to here. And then depending on the macro picture, if I do think the market's going to kind of tank a little bit, which I mentioned I do, what I'm looking for is it to probably do something like this would be ideal. You know, it might chop here a little bit on top of the indicators, and then it's going to drop below the indicators. Then it's going to come back to retest the indicator. And this is going to be your chance here to short. This will be your chance here to see if we can catch something coming back down to support back here a little bit more longer term. All right, so Luna, that's what we're looking for. Now, if the market picks up, if we get some momentum, if we get some good news, then what we'd be looking for is something similar to this. It would come down to that indicator, pop up, probably retest it again, and then off to the races. So this area here, oops, I am on my wrong side here. So this area here is going to be very important to watch. So right there, we are going to put a big old arrow, and we are watching that level. So it's going to come down. We're going to see either we're going to long it if it tends to respond back up. If it drops back below, we're going to let it drop, retest back up, and then this would be our short opportunity here. So that is Luna on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at Zcash. We haven't talked about this. This is an older coin. It's a privacy coin, so of course in this day and age it is pretty useful. But let's take a quick look on the daily first. A little zoom out. And we can see this has been responding well to our indicators lately. And on the daily, we could consider this close to a buy time, right? Because this is our 200. We popped up. We're coming down to retest. And now, depending on the markets again, it could go back up from here or retest one of these other couple indicators. But again, if the market goes down, everything goes down. So we're going to really keep a close eye on these levels as well. Let's go back to our hourly for Zcash. And we can see, yeah, it's had a lot of momentum here once it breaks indicators. And you can see this is a great example here, you guys, where we go up, we come back to retest, and then we're off to the races again. And again, sort of the same thing here. We're up over this indicator. We come back to retest it a couple of times, and then we're off to the races. So generally, you don't want to buy on the first breakout because it might be a fake out, right? So it might go up and then pop back down again. So we want to make sure it confirms above. We'd like to see a retest. And this is where the patient people buy. So like we talked about shorting, we want to go down. We don't want to then short here. We want to wait for it to come back up, get the market kind of thinking what's going on here, retest, and then we'll short here and test there. So we always want to short or long around the indicators, not super high above them. Those we're just sort of letting it ride, or maybe dollar cost averaging into. All right, so we'll take one back, quick look at our total market cap, and we'll move out to the day, and we're gonna see this, I believe, right in our golden channel, barely. So if we can hold that right, we should see a little pop up like we have in the past. If not, then we might come back down and check this little trend line here, and this is around the 1.5 mark. All right, so that's, you know, a 10% drop from here. So a little scary, but let's see what happens. Again, the overall economic picture worldwide is so sketchy at the moment. It's really hard to hang your hat on anything. So be patient, watch your indicators, and don't jump into anything, you know, too risky right now. I'd keep stop losses super tight if you are trading in this. Otherwise, I would just be patient, and we're going to see a lot of good opportunities either way come here pretty shortly. All right, thanks for tuning in, listening, and subscribing. We appreciate it, and feel free to contact us. Any charts you would like us to look at. And until then, you guys have a good one. This is Mark, signing off.